The cries of persecuted Christians in Nigeria continue to pierce the heart of humanity. What follows is not a scene from a horror film or a dark chapter from ancient history, but a painful reality unfolding in our own times. A testimony of brutality, fear, and unimaginable suffering endured by innocent Christians in parts of Africa. One of the most horrifying accounts emerging from Nigeria involves Christian captives allegedly forced into acts of cannibalism by extremists linked to Fulani militant groups. Survivors from the Rijana Forest camp in Kaduna State have spoken of unspeakable cruelty inflicted upon women and children abducted from Christian villages. On January 3rd, 2026, armed militants reportedly stormed a Christian community in Kajuru County, Kaduna State, kidnapping women and children at gunpoint and taking them to a forest camp in Rijana. 15 people were abducted, according to survivor testimonies shared with local media. The captives were beaten with sticks, chained, starved, and subjected to severe torture. One survivor, Mary Patrick, recounted to Truth Nigeria that the victims' legs were beaten repeatedly while men were restrained with bicycle chains for days. As ransom demands went unmet, the violence escalated further. In one horrifying incident, a female captive was allegedly executed and children were reportedly threatened and forced to consume parts of the victim's body. Some children complied out of terror and are now said to be suffering from severe physical and psychological trauma. Other survivors described women being denied basic dignity, brutally assaulted for minor incidents, and in some cases, permanently mutilated. Human rights advocates warn that many rescued victims are now living with deep emotional wounds and symptoms of severe post-traumatic stress. The Rijana Forest camp is reportedly not an isolated case. Several such camps are believed to exist across Nigeria, where extremist violence, kidnappings, and attacks against Christian communities continue to rise. Nigeria is reportedly spending millions of dollars to prevent news about the genocide of Christians from reaching the outside world. Yet, the tragic reality is that even half of that amount could be enough to dismantle Rijana hostage camps and bring freedom to countless innocent victims. While only a fraction of the Fulani ethnic population is involved in such violence, extremist factions have been accused of carrying out repeated attacks that have devastated countless families and villages. After 118 days of captivity, 11 women and children were finally rescued on April 30th, bringing a small ray of hope amid overwhelming darkness, yet many more are still believed to remain in captivity. Behind every statistic is a wounded child, a grieving mother, a shattered family, and a community crying out for peace. Let us not allow their suffering to be forgotten. Please remember the Christians of Nigeria in our prayers. Pray for the protection of the innocent, healing for survivors, comfort for grieving families, and courage for those who continue to live under fear and persecution. Let's also pray for the repentance of the persecutors. May God bring justice where there is violence, hope where there is despair, and lasting peace to Nigeria and all persecuted believers around the world.